Here we go. This is it. Episode 418 of No Laugh Track Podcast. I'm here with Phil Hanley, who has not been here on the stage with me since, I'm looking it up, Phil, Valentine's week of 2017.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Comedy time moves weird, because I would say it's been a couple years.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
Let's do the math. That's over 4.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Some things have happened in the world. Some things have happened in my life.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've happened in your life.
I grew my hair, yeah.
The first topic, you grew your hair. What the hell, man?
Yeah, no, I didn't get my... I have to get it cut. My hair is irritating people so much.
What?
Yeah, it's bugging people so much that I just continue to grow it. But I do need to get my hair cut. But, yeah, remember when Letterman grew that, like, crazy beard?
The beard one, as soon as you the retirement beard.
Which he still has. He
Yeah.
said, he's like, it's just irritating people, and I get a kick out of it. And I remember thinking, like, he obviously likes it, and he's just using that as an excuse. But my hair is irritating people, and it is somewhat amusing to me.
I can tie that in with when I tried to grow a goatee when I was with my first wife.
Uh-huh.
She absolutely despised it.
Is that what ended it?
Wouldn't that be simple? That would have been a lot cleaner.
Do you have a goatee now?
Well, see, I'm going to get to that.
Okay. I was hoping you would.
It's hard to tell. I'm sort of in between right now.
Oh, okay.
Sort of in between because then divorce.
Yes.
Met the woman I'm married to now.
Uh-huh.
Have had a goatee basically almost that entire relationship.
Yeah.
Got rid of it once. She despised it. So the exact opposite of my first wife.
Yeah.
So now, up until just a couple weeks ago, I was going straight mustache. That no one likes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, a mustache is bold.
Uh-huh.
Bold.
So right now I'm sort of in between.
I don't understand. And there's got to be like some type of like, someone should explain it, but I didn't have a beard for years. And I was fine with it, and I, was, fine with my face. And then now, when I shave my beard, I look preposterous, and whoever I'm dating doesn't like it. Like, it's really weird. I don't know what it, like, a beard, like, somehow does, it, like, fills out your face, or does something. Yeah. That when, it's like if you didn't look at yourself naked for a long time, and then like a year goes by and you look at you're just like, Jesus, yeah, I should really be wearing clothes. It's really it's weird. It does not, and it happens with. Do you remember when what's Magnum PI? What was that?
Tom Selleck.
Yeah, do you remember he shaved his mustache? It was like for Friends or something like that.
Yeah,
and it was jarring. Like you take a spit take every time he was on the camera. You just get used to seeing it, so it's tough to remove it.
He lost all his powers.
Yeah, all his Selleck powers.
One of my daughters took a picture of me with full mustache a couple weeks ago and posted it on her social media thing and had all of her friends vote. Should my dad get rid of this?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd they say?
She didn't like how it went because only one of her friends thought I should shave it off, and all the rest were on my side.
Oh, nice.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But now, like, I don't know. So I'm in between. But in any case, let's talk about you being here at Acme.
Yeah.
It's so nice to have you back here. It had been too long. This is the 4th time, by the way, we've done a podcast. The first time, Phil, March 2014. Whoa.
Dang. Wow.
We go way back.
Yeah, we do, man.
And here we are in 2021.
Yeah.
How do I even ask this? So we've been through a pandemic. I don't even know if we're done. I asked Erica Rhodes was here last week. I'm going to ask you this right now. How do we know when the pandemic is done? Are we done? Are we done? You don't have a mask on. The sign outside, we don't have to wear masks anymore if you're vaccinated. The mask rule is off in Minneapolis, which is where we are. We're at full capacity here. You're the second person at full capacity here at Acme this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Things like I noticed in Minneapolis, no one's wearing a mask, right? New York, I don't think we need to wear masks, but people you still see them, like going into restaurants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think we're done in the sense that, I mean, hopefully we're done. Who knows if, variants and all this stuff.
Sure. No one's going to hold you to this if you're wrong.
But I don't want to go through what Fauci's going through right now.
Phil Hanley knew things.
But
he knew.
I will say that, like wearing a mask on a plane, I think some people will do that forever now or for years and years.
I just heard on the radio this morning that might be staying until at least September. Have you heard anything like that?
No.
No?
But last weekend was my first weekend traveling again.
Okay.
And I think like because I'm down with these are the things from the pandemic that I'm going to keep with me.
I love this.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Starting with my hair. No. The one is I started bringing my own microphone, right? Also, I'm a little bit germophobic. Like I have OCD, so bringing my own microphone, because what would happen is I would be touring and I would have 4 weeks in a row. I'd play San Francisco. And the next week, coming to Minneapolis, say. That is a beautiful back-to-back, by the way. Anyways, and then my opener would be sick and like coughing, in the green room, coughing on the microphone. And I would just be like, if I get sick next week, it's going to be brutal because I'm not going to be able to be. So I started bringing my own mic, and I love it. And I'm going to continue to do that because I wanted to before, but I was like, I don't want to be that weirdo who brings his own mic. That, and then I think people will wear masks on airplanes.
Yeah. I have no problem with that.
I will. I mean, I think all people. Like, there are people on planes that you can tell now are like, ugh, like really put out by having to wear a mask.
Well, I know that because of all the videos that go viral every other day about a fist fight that breaks out on the plane and somebody arguing about a freaking mask.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think I'll keep doing that, though, because you do get sick. Like, when you fly a lot, you do get sick. So I don't know if it's the air on planes or not, but it'll be interesting to see. But I'm fine. Like, I wear sleep. I look like such a freak. I'll show you a picture after the podcast. I have sleep mask and hood up and like my whole. I look like when they
the sleep mask like an over your eyes thing.
Yeah, sleep mask over my eyes. It looks like when they do like say before Boba Fett is Boba Fett, they show you a rough drawing and you're like, oh, it kind of looks like him. I look like the rough drawing of the villain from G.I. Joe, Cobra Commander. Get my mask. I get the mask and the thing. Yeah, or maybe like some G.I. Joe character. But anyways, also my physique. Come on. But yeah. So
and your kung fu grip.
So those exactly. So those things I think will stay. So to answer your question, is it over? I think it's one of those things that we'll see kind of by the end of the summer. I was talking to a friend that lives in Taiwan, and he said that now Taiwan's getting bad, and Taiwan was not bad for a long time. Like there was no cases at one point, like last year at this time.
That's true, or that's what they want us to believe?
I believe that's the case because now I don't. You know what I mean? I'm so out of touch with the Taiwanese government, but yeah. So. I don't know. I think we'll know. I think the summer is going to be, we'll see what goes down. We'll see how well the vaccine. I certainly think that New York, for example, they're going to test the vaccine. I think people are being pretty promiscuous in New York City this summer. And, everyone's just partying in the streets. Like, it's wild.
Yeah.
Like Washington Square Park in the Village, there's like thousands of people there every night. Like SWAT team had to come in. And it's just like college kids partying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they couldn't wait to get outside and
mingle. And in my neighborhood, it's just going off. People are going crazy.
How much performing did you do since last March?
The
last year
did. Plus. There was like a time I forgot how long I went just with no shows, and then I started doing. We would do shows that were like shows on roofs in New York. Like I was really careful. I kind of followed the rules. And which goes against my bad boy image. No, but I did.
We'll cut that out. Don't worry.
I did shows on. Yeah, I did some shows on roofs. I did one weekend in Philly in the fall that was like outdoors, like just kind of beside the club.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
I've done this club, but never outside.
And then I did these shows with my dear friend Sam Morrell. He did these shows he found this like crazy venue, and it was like half outside, inside, and they had heat lamps, and it was like basically a greenhouse with a bunch of windows open and pumping heat in. Yeah. So we were able to perform. I think we started in like January, and we went to like April or something, and then the Comedy Cellar opened up at 30% capacity, and I was just there all the time. So. Yeah, but like,
were there any that were presented to you that you're like, no, freaking, I'm not showing up in somebody's bathroom to do stand up?
I'm trying to think the weirdest ones. No, like everything. I think people were so grateful. Like I did someone's balcony. Someone had like a big balcony, and they maybe fit like I mean, it was a really big balcony. People they maybe fit like 18 people. I did that show. That was cool. There's a show.
Were you shouting to them?
No,
over the din of the traffic?
It was way up high. It was pretty wild. Like some of these New York shows are crazy because it's such on a roof because it's the iconic skyline.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. But there was a show in my neighborhood in kind of an alley beside I think it used to be a synagogue, and then now it's like a community center, but there's like an alley. We did shows there. So like last week I was like opening my show saying like I was in Sacramento and I was like, I haven't performed in a year and a half. It's great to be back. The crowd would clap, and I'd be like, what I'm really saying is you guys should come see my shows in Minneapolis next weekend. But I was exaggerating. I was pretty loose because once the cellar opened, I was doing a lot of shows, but I just hadn't done 45 minutes, I guess, since for 8 months or 10 months or something.
How were you trying to develop new material in the last year?
Yeah, I wrote a lot. Yeah, I got into the habit. I had like a set time, and I would just force myself to kind of do that. And
just at home by yourself.
Yeah, and it was funny that people were so eager. I came out of the pandemic with I got so much new material, and then once the novelty of being able to come to a live show kind of wore off, I realized I didn't have as much new material.
Oh,
as I thought I did. Yeah, because it just was. I think I got away with a lot of just not completely finished jokes and stuff because the audience was just like, "This is so refreshing to not be watching, Friends or whatever."
Right?
No, yeah. So
yeah, I'm done binge watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but I did. I wrote a fair amount.
That's good. Is your normal process doing it on stage or doing it on a notepad at home? What's your favorite way to be doing that?
Whiteboard at home.
Whiteboard.
I have a big whiteboard in my kitchen, and I pace and work out jokes that way, and then we'll put it in a notebook. Yeah. Which is weird because we've discussed this before on this podcast. I'm dyslexic, so I should be one of those comics where I'm like, I don't really write anything down because some dudes are like that.
Yeah.
I write everything down, and then go over my set list a million times to memorize the order and stuff.
Yeah. I saw a thing, Richard Branson, apparently has dyslexia.
Yeah.
And he's referred to it as a superpower. Have you seen him do interviews about it?
No, but I've seen him. Speaking of getting a haircut, come on, Rich. But no,
Rich.
Yeah,
Richie,
but
come on, Richie.
I have heard that, and I've done just when I was a kid, I just hated it, and I didn't like being in special ed or anything to be, a regular student, anything not. So I didn't do a lot of research, but now I've done a lot of research, and for creative people. And he's a creative dude coming up with ideas and stuff. I think it is.
He calls it a superpower of creative brilliance.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm a little more modest than that, but I think I have some good jokes. No, yeah, no. I mean, they say there's a Malcolm Gladwell book called David and Goliath, and they do a chapter on dyslexia, and they talk to people who wouldn't be where they are if it wasn't for dyslexia. Like they have a lawyer that's famous for thinking on his feet. They have an architect who can visualize a building before he builds it, and that does.
Oh wow!
Our brains are different than other brains, and we're good at big picture stuff, terrible at detailed things.
So you mentioned OCD a little bit ago.
I did.
How does I have a family member that is exhibiting some of those things.
Oh, really?
And I'm curious, what is your, if you don't mind saying, what is your OCD? Is it as simple as what everybody just thinks, he's worried about getting germs on his hand, thinks he's going to get sick, or, he's obsessive about something. But that isn't the case for everyone.
No, I mean, it can be anything. For me, and my OCD, once I figured out that I had it, and there's different, you can have OCD, and I feel for people that, have trouble just functioning normally, you know what I mean? But for me, it's I wash my hands. If someone's like, here, try this drink, I'm like, yeah, I'd rather not. It's nothing wild.
Yeah. I listened back to the 2017 episode, and it's for some reason that came up at the beginning of our podcast.
Really?
You said something about people teasing you about washing your hands before you eat.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty, once I know I had it, I just kind of, it's under control. But for example, I will write out my set list before I go on stage, and I know the jokes, but it's just a little ritual. I don't know if that is OCD, but I definitely have certain things that I feel like I need to do to get kind of in the zone or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. And then you get those and you're ready to rock.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like washing my hands and stuff like that, I just don't let it get worse than, I'll wash my hands before I eat, and I wash my hands after I use the washroom. So if like someone mocks me for that, I'm like, oh Jesus, you're an animal.
So I want to know what you think about this story. I was at a like a Walgreens about a week ago.
Uh-huh.
And the guy in front of me in line they had some hand sanitizer sitting out.
Yeah.
And he's going at he's just pounding the crap out of the top of it, and nothing's coming out.
Yeah.
And he picks it up, he like turns the top of it, and he's hitting on it, nothing's coming out. And the woman, the clerk, she's just pretty much ignoring what he's doing, and she's ringing up his stuff. And then they both have masks on, and he mumbles something that is kind of hard to hear, and he says something about it's not working, and she just ignores him. She's like, all right, have a nice day. Then he repeats himself, like, this needs to be refilled, there's none left here, it's not working.
Yeah.
And her response was, she looks at him and she goes, well, we don't have any more. We're in a Walgreens.
Yeah.
There's gallons of it around us.
Oh, there are gallons of it. Okay.
Yeah, it's now like 90% off. What do you mean you don't have any more?
Yeah. First question, was that you?
It was not me.
Okay.
No. This wasn't a my friend story. No, this is legit. A stranger in front of me had to deal with this, and I just kept quiet. I wanted to go, sir, you could probably just help yourself to sum off the But I didn't say anything.
So do you think he was struggling with some type of compulsion that he needed it?
That's a good question. No, I don't. I just think he was I get the feeling, I was doing that at the beginning of the pandemic. If somebody had hand sanitizer out, I probably doop, and took some.
There are aspects of the pandemic, and I know it's awful, and I feel for anyone whose family was sick or anyone who was sick.
Oh yeah.
But I will say, as someone with OCD, this life where there's hand sanitizer everywhere is just I am enjoying that one aspect. I love it. I rolled in here last night just banging away on the hand sanitizer. It's because that was I would be mocked because it is a little emasculating to be carrying a little Perel in your pocket. Like, I'm fine with it or whatever. But
just a second.
But no, I feel like that employee. I mean, obviously she's someone who's not. She's gonna get employee of the month at Walgreens anytime soon.
No.
You know what I mean? I think you need to accommodate.
Yeah. It's called service recovery. That's what the people in the business call that.
Oh, really?
Service recovery.
Okay.
She could have easily helped that customer out, and they could have left
Yeah.
very happy
Uh-huh.
with their customer service.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, totally. But we're out. Yeah.
We don't have any.
It's ridiculous.
Do you have any water?
Yeah.
No, we're out of that too.
Yeah.
How about cigarettes? I don't smoke. I know, but they're right behind you.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't like her attitude.
How was last night? Your show here at
Acme?
Acme?
Great.
Yeah?
It was so good. Yeah. It's this club is just set up. This club and the Comedy Cellar is another example, and there are other examples.
No,
but
there aren't.
the low seat, like just that it's condensed, and the way it's set up, and it's just you forget how great it is. It's like if you haven't seen like Old Lover for 5 years, and then all of a sudden you're with them again. You're just like, oh my God, I forgot. You know what I mean?
Like you and I back together after 4 years.
I would say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm
Very
sure
similar.
you're thinking right now, I forgot how good Phil was at this.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now he reads minds. This guy's amazing.
Yeah, no, it was so good. I mean, in my mind, I always know that, that this room is like set up so well, and the sound's great, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah, last night was really fun, and there was a comedy competition at the beginning of the show.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's
So
back
I
on.
think-
Funniest person.
Yes. So I think some of the contestants brought people that maybe didn't always come to shows or whatever. So they were so fun, and I think they seemed really pumped just to kind of be here and seeing it and stuff. So
Yeah.
I
So
had a blast.
I snuck in the back and got to check some of it out.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So here's what I really think of it. What
Okay.
you're saying is
Okay. Please don't hurt my feelings.
Let me set you straight, Phil. We're definitely not going to touch the joke that you did because people need to come to Acme here and see you this week to
Yeah.
do the one I'm going to refer to. All I'm going to say is you did a joke last night and then afterwards said described the joke as ironic, and you were glad the crowd laughed because this is the scariest city in the world to do that joke.
Oh, it's funny. A couple people messaged me after that and said that they liked that. Or
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you guys have been in the news.
So yeah, I don't want you to give it away, and then people can.
I just riffed that line, and to be honest, I probably wouldn't even remember of doing it. But you're like the third or fourth person that brought that up to me.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I will definitely do that again.
Well, you have to now. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Good job. Great job, Phil. Now, you've done crowd work. Every time I've seen you, you do crowd work.
Yeah.
Do you think think you will be doing more now? Back into or is it no connection between having time off and getting back in front of people?
No, I don't. Because now it just feels like a normal show. I'm actually probably. My intention is to do less because I'm working on kind of the finishing touches on my current hour that I'm doing or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And because I think I should have recorded something like midway through the pandemic. Like if there wasn't a pandemic, I think I would have recorded something last fall probably.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So that's my intention. But then things happen and it's just fun. And it leads me into jokes a certain way or whatever. So I have been like riffing with the crowd just like I normally would, even though I should just be doing my jokes. But it's just better for me personally if I'm in the room and commenting on the things that everyone's experiencing.
One more thing I want to bring up. Another quote from you. I'm begging you to let me finish this joke.
Oh. Oh, I don't remember. Did I say that to the guy? There was like a guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was something about porn. And then someone from the crowd interjected.
Yeah.
I'm begging. I mean, it was
was
so polite, and there wasn't confrontational. It was just like, come on, we're having a great time, but you gotta let me finish this.
Because that was like almost near the end of the show.
Yes, it was.
And the topic of a certain genre of pornography called ethical porn was brought up, and he could not keep his opinion to himself. He needed to be heard.
Yeah.
So no, I was so pumped because I thought the crowd was so fun last night.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was having such a blast.
They were, and you handled it so well.
And this is there are different types of hecklers. Some people heckle because for whatever reason they don't like someone else being the center of attention. They don't like the idea of someone else showcasing what they're good at, and they need to disrupt it. And that's like the rarest type of heckler. But the dude last night was just so energetic. He heckled another time where I did a joke, and he didn't feel it got enough laughter. And he went, "Come on,
yes,
come on,
yes, he did.
Are you kidding me? That's a great joke." And so
Heckler / cheerleader.
Yeah, and so I did with saying that he did need to keep his pornography opinions to himself because I needed to get it's like set up his little TED talk on porn, and then I needed to get to the punchline or the punchline. People are gonna be like, "Oh, that thing you said 10 minutes ago." You know what I mean?
Yes.
So he needed to keep his opinions to himself. Although he was quite forthright with his opinions after the show. Good or bad? No, he was good. He was complimentary, but he was complimentary very close to my face. So I you know what I mean? I'm still a little erring on the side of caution.
Yes.
As far as the pandemic, So yeah, he was up in my business, being very complimentary. So he was a nice guy, and it was really, it was nice that he offered positive feedback throughout the show, and then. After.
Using your own mic wasn't going to help with him last night.
No, yeah.
Oh, that is so fantastic. I saw that you did an interview of High Times magazine talk to you.
Yes, they did.
How did that happen?
I think I don't know how that.
How do you get on High Times radar?
I think.
And I want to know because I want to get it.
Oh, really? Something to do with the Grateful Dead. I think I'm a big Grateful Dead fan, and quite vocal about that.
Okay, yeah.
So I think maybe there was like a Dead connection. I forget how I got. I mean, it could have just been my manager. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, I don't even smoke weed. So, But I mean, I certainly have. So I feel like it's a topic I can talk about.
Yeah,
You know?
that's what I was going to get to. I think it's so interesting. Like Pete Lee was once interviewed by High Times, and he had a story about how his grandmother ran a bong shop.
Whoa.
In the South or something.
Wow.
It's a really interesting story that I, of course, don't remember all the details to.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. Though.
You get interviewed by High Times.
Yeah.
And it's really good. And then at the end, you're like, and I just learned to only take one toke. It's like the most non-High Times story.
Yeah. Well, no, because like growing up, people would try to get as high. You know, I like certainly, smoked weed when I was, growing up or whatever.
Oh, it's completely different stuff.
Yeah, and people would try to get as high as possible.
Oh, yeah.
And then I talked to a guy who, like, people are always like, oh, I smoke weed and it makes me creative or whatever. I'm like, really lying like face down on a couch makes you I never felt motivated. I never feel. And then I talked to someone who is, someone who I, admire greatly for his creativity. And he's like, oh, I take one hit and then work or walk and think and all this stuff. And I'm like, what? Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. I was like, no, you smoke weed for 3 hours with your friends, and then, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't know. So yeah, that's the move, though. I think, especially now, because it is so strong now.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's not the same thing as
but
when we were in high school.
I drank, and this sounds pathetic, I only had a couple drinks, but I did for a majority of the year that I was trapped in my apartment. Because it would just be something to look forward to. I had nothing to do. So I'd wake up, have my first coffee, and then you ride or do whatever, and then you look forward to your second coffee, and then you have that at like 4.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, now I just got to power through to like 8, and then I'm going to have 2 Negronis and watch a movie or whatever. And that was just my life. It's every day. And then I was like, oh, this is bad. You can't drink 2 drinks. Like, I just thought it was bad for me anyways. So I stopped, and I didn't feel any different. I swear to God.
Interesting.
Yeah, don't feel any better. Nothing.
I once had a talk with a friend of mine who he was opening up to me about the fact that he was an alcoholic. I had no idea that he was like in AA at the time, and he was telling me about he would hide bottles around his house, like in the toilet tank. Like he'd have a bottle every time he went somewhere. He'd mix up, like that water bottle wouldn't be water. It would be 90% vodka, a little bit of water. Everywhere he went, right?
Yeah.
And at the time, I was going through. Well, I'll just say that I was drinking every day at the time.
Yeah.
But as I was telling him, I'm like, oh, I had no idea. I was like, yeah, I'm like, I'm drinking like 5-6 beers a day, but I mean, I seem to be okay, and I just get up the next morning and still go to work. I walked away from that conversation like, I'm the biggest freaking asshole. Why would I say that to him? Like, I'm handling it. And I'm sure he's probably like, dude, you're turning into an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You're making excuses. You're drinking every day.
But, I mean, in a roundabout way, maybe that made him feel better. Like,
yeah, maybe.
Because this is the thing, and this is what dawned on me for drinking for me anyways. I only had I would have 2 Negronis, that's like a stiff 2, you know what I mean? That's like whatever.
Yeah.
It's all booze. But I would have 2, and then it is really habit forming. Like, say if you had like 5 beers a night, you get to the point where you need 5 beers, you know what I mean? Like, you really look forward to the first sip. Like, it is addictive.
And it started with 2 or 3, and then it was 6.
Yeah. Like, I would have my first sip and just be like, oh my God. Like, it would just be heavenly. You know what I mean? Your first kind of like sip of plus I make a mean Negroni, if I'm being honest. But
Brandon, do we have this here at the club? Is this something?
Oh, I'm sure you have Campari and but I'm not. No, I mean, but I never drank on the road just because, whatever. But so I get that you could, and also you get used to being hungover. So I didn't drink for like 2 months or something, and then one night I had a couple drinks, and then you feel like hell the next day. I'm like, I can't believe I had 2 vodka sodas and feel like I felt like I was embarrassed. But you just get used to feeling that way, and if you continue, But I don't know. I mean, I'm not judging anyone who has like a couple cocktails, but for me, I was like, wait till I stop drinking. I'm gonna feel so good, and I feel the same. I'm not sleeping better. It's just the same. I just out of the habit, but it's the same thing. As you get into the habit, you get out of the habit. Now I'm just like, it's not even on my radar to drink or whatever.
Yeah. And that's
I mean,
that is healthy, sir.
I'm sure it will be, but yeah, at the moment it's not.
How we're getting close to the time here. How is living in New York still? Love it?
I do. Yeah, I love it. I wish it was. My family lives in Vancouver, so it's like I'm as close to England as I am to Vancouver in New York, which is like that's a bummer. But yeah, it's great, man. Just to be able to where I live in Lower Manhattan or in the Village, so I just walk to the cellar and walk home. It's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
Do you have a vehicle?
No, I don't. For the best. I'm a bad driver. Really bad.
Do they have, like these scooters? Which, by the way, there's, these little scooters you pay like by the minute or the hour or whatever around town here. There's one right outside the club here, and someone put a chain like they're claiming it.
Oh, really?
Can you do that?
I don't think so, man. It's probably that lady from Walgreens who wasn't given a Perel.
She knows no boundaries.
Yeah, no boundaries. No.
Do they have those in New York?
We have there's like proper motor scooters. And you see people driving them, and you're just like, that guy is not going to survive. Like, now they wear helmets, but when it first happened, there was like people cruising around with helmets. I'm like, you're not in Tuscany. What are you doing, man? You're like, you know what I mean? You're in like deep Manhattan, crazy traffic. But yeah, we have those. I don't think we have the little motor scooters yet.
Okay,
but I remember
that's probably for the best.
Yeah, I remember they're all over the States though, and I remember touring and seeing them, and like for the first time, just being like, this is crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like part of me is like, shouldn't there be like a lesson that you have to like know that you can actually control this
just
thing?
Like bombed people on those things is wild.
Been there.
Oh, you've
been
driven
there and
one?
Survived.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that to me, yeah, that's
It reminded me of when I used to go skiing a lot when I was younger, and the only time I had balls is if I was drinking.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to ski. But not through traffic. You know what I mean? Like, it's wild.
Without a helmet.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so we don't have those in New York, but we do have proper, like, motor scooters.
Sure. Is there anything else? Let's see. Oh, you wanted to mention social media. You have a video. Please follow me on Instagram, Phil M. Hanley. It's unfortunate that I had to put the M in there, but yeah. So Phil M. Hanley. And I have a video, second video in. It's at, like, 800,000 views or something like that, and my mom would be so pumped if 1 million people watch that. Which one? Can you describe what it is?
It's what I used to close with, where it's like a breakup sketch where I bring an audience member on stage and we do a little sketch there.
Okay, where was that one recorded? Do you remember?
The clip. I mean, I did it everywhere for a couple years, but more than a couple. The clip that's on is from my Comedy Central half-hour special.
Okay.
I closed with it.
Okay. And then, so people keep an eye out for that. Follow Phil on social media.
Phil M. Hanley.
Phil M. Hanley.
Instagram. Yeah.
Yes. When you were here last time, I want to bring this up too. You mentioned to me that your podcast, Keeping Joe, you had recorded some episodes and had not released them yet.
Oh, God, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, what's the status now?
No, we're done.
You're done?
Yeah, we did Keeping Joe with Joe Mackey, Sam Morril, and Liz from
Comedy Cellar
fame. And then we wrapped it. We stopped doing it maybe like a year and a few months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no podcasts of your own right now?
No podcasts of my own. In fact, I haven't even been a guest on a podcast in so long.
I thought, I was like, am I seeing that? Because I do a little search your name on a couple podcast apps.
No, I don't.
It's been a little while. Hope he's still down for doing one.
No, I'm thrilled to. I mean, I love to come here and talk to you. No, I should start doing them more.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, things are opening back up. It's probably be many more opportunities.
Yeah. No, I need to do. I always feel like, because I always want to wait till I have something to promote. And then, with the pandemic and stuff like that, there wasn't really anything to, besides those 2 drinks I was having every night, there wasn't much to promote. But, yeah, but now, there'll be things as weekends and so on and so forth to promote. So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do this again in less than 4 years.
I would love to do that. Yeah, for sure. It is so good to be back. Yeah, last night was great, and I can't wait for tonight and the rest of the weekend.
Is there anything you'd like to confess in our last 10 seconds here?
It's embarrassing how much I want people to watch that clip to get to 1 million, because it will. My mom will be so pumped.
And if people know anything about you, they know that you love Mom. You guys are very close. She was your homework buddy.
Yeah, I'm so tight with my mom. I don't think I've ever said anything that bombed if my mom's in the room. She always laughs at my jokes. It's honestly. Yeah.
Oh my God! Will you have her write a review for this podcast?
Oh, will I write a review?
Will she write a review?
Oh,
please?
I don't know. And that's another thing that I love about my mom is she's so respectful with, like, if I'm like, man, I don't listen to podcast, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because some podcasts, it's just like, you know, the host is dirty.
Yeah.
And you got to be like, geez, I guess I'm doing this too. So, yeah, no, my mom.
I need 5 stars from your mom.
Doesn't listen to podcasts. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I will try.
You know what? She doesn't even have. Let's be honest. She doesn't
Yeah.
have to listen. Just get on there and do the review.
Yeah, she's a very honest woman. But yeah, we'll see. I'll talk to her. This would actually be a good podcast for her to listen to.
Bam.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Phil.
Oh, you're welcome. And be great if my mom reviewed it and then weighed in on the mustache.